I'm here at Electronex 2019 with Andrew Pollock of the SMCBA, who's been running his annual conference alongside it, or rather more upstairs. How's that been going?
It's been going great. This year was a slight change on last year, in that last year there were some of the sessions were sort of half-day sessions and full-day sessions. This year we've rolled it into 3 streams of 2-day workshops. So they're full-on 2-day workshops, and the feedback I'm getting is quite good, that everybody's getting good value out of these workshops.
And all told, I think really the event's rather making the electronics industry in Australia in a very good light. Realistically,
yeah. Look, the event. Just a little bit of history to the event. In the conference has been running since 1988, and it has been aligned with other events in the past. And in 2008, it was aligned with Reed Exhibitions and National Manufacturing Week. And sadly, that didn't work out for our members in the electronics industry. So in 2009, I approached Noel Gray at Australasian Exhibition and Events and said, look, I've got something I want to explore with you. And we put it on the table that we felt that there was an opportunity for a dedicated event. And it was out of those discussions with Noel that we actually ended up launching Electronex in 2010. And the number of Australian electronics exhibitors that were at National Manufacturing Week was 12 that I counted, and our first event in 2010 there were 64.
A slight improvement, a bit more focus.
And then it grew over the next 2 or 3 years by 20%. So it actually grew to what you see today, which is a really excellent event, and greatly appreciated by the electronics industry and the visitors that are involved in the industry as well.
Very good. Andrew, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Noel Gray, the organiser of Electronex from Australasian
Exhibitions and Events.
And events, indeed. The move to the Melbourne Conference and Exhibition Centre. Bold move?
Yes. Yeah. Look, obviously we have run the event at the Tennis Centre prior to this. Melbourne Park Function Centre is known, and we'd outgrown that venue. It had been a sale out there for I think the last 2 or 3 times we'd held it, and decided it was time to expand the show, take it to a more superior venue. And Melbourne Exhibition Centre is obviously the place to be in terms of major exhibitions in Australia, one of the best venues.
Yeah, indeed. And it probably a fitting sort of venue when you look at the relative health of the electronics sector and its growth within Australian manufacturing, really, would you say?
Yeah, it has. I mean, we've got more exhibitors here. This is our largest show we've ever had. I think there's 75 stands representing over 100 companies, and we're delighted with the response. And I think by bringing it to the Melbourne Exhibition Centre has helped us in terms of raising the profile of the whole event from both an exhibitor and a visitor point of view. And the industry itself, we've obviously seen a lot of changes over the years, and I think in the last 3, 4, 5 years there has been a move back to Australian-based companies, where people were outsourcing a lot overseas. Some of them are coming back to Australia again, and that's what we're seeing here at the show. We've got a lot of locally based companies offering solutions and contract manufacturing and design solutions, so it's good to see. The industry's quite vibrant here in Australia.
Very good. Noel, thank you.
Thank you.
Here at Electronex on the Oritex stand with sales manager Roy Kingham. I think he's had quite a good show. How has it been for you?
The show's been brilliant this year. A lot of attendance, a lot of existing faces, a lot of new faces, but a lot of positivity in the industry, and I think, and a lot of attention and want for expansion. Maybe I feel the industry is moving forward. There's a lot of activity going, a lot of interest in various new technologies. I find it's been very, very well.
So what sort of companies are you selling to at the moment that makes you think that it's expanding so well?
Well, I find there's a lot of people bringing their work back to Australia. Is what I've been seeing is from both from the OEM space and also from the contract electronics seem to be doing well from what I can see, but there seems to be a lot of people, like I say, the OEM stuff, doing a lot more stuff in-house and wanting a lot more capability themselves. Of course, technology is advancing, the requirements are advancing, and just with the equipment that we hold here, I see there's a lot of forward movement, yes.
Because you're quite at the sharp edge of of manufacturing technology with a lot of the stuff you have here.
Yeah.
So it's really what high added value work that your customers are getting into.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, we are at the sharp end of the technology here. We obviously have the Nordson range of equipment, so going anything from the Nordson Dage X-ray equipment through the advanced dispensing equipment, the AOI equipment, the bond testers, and a lot of their stuff they have also the Europlace, the pick and place equipment. So we are, as you say, at the higher end of the level. And it's a lot of what we find is people looking for a flexibility and that added capability, which is great.
So it all rather bodes well for Australian manufacturing, by the sound of it.
I think so. Look, we know there's always challenges, but with the exchange rate where we are now, we are more attractive to offshore. Our exports seem to be cheaper to the rest of the world, but then also it's more expensive to have stuff made offshore. So it's back. So I think we're in a good space. So.
Well, I have with me now Mark Steiner, who's MD of contract electronics manufacturer Heatec. How's electronics been for you in 2019, Mark?
It's been good, a bit mixed, I have to say. Yesterday was very busy, so we had a lot of inquiries yesterday. Today was a bit quieter, but for us it's an investment into the industry and the electronics in general. So we've got engineers here doing training. We are looking at doing some papers, supporting the whole industry as a whole.
So, I mean, the electronics industry is fast becoming an underground success in Australia. I mean, you were talking earlier and you said that you are particularly busy at the moment.
It's busy, yes, it's busy, yes. So we had our best years ever in the last 2 years. This year is probably a bit more normal, but a lot of design work going on, which is good. Mainly in mining, but we've been active in defence, which has been very good. A lot of shortages in skills. We need to ramp up, especially in Queensland, where we're probably a bit behind with the other two states. Yeah, lots to do. Getting young kids into engineering, electronics is important. So we'll try to support industry as a good player. Yeah.
But a strong future for electronics manufacturing in Australia.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've started from a small base. It is. We have to be aware we are niche. It's very small compared to anything, but it's picking up. There's a lot of companies coming back to Australia now. Because it's just hard in China, issues with all the the big players, the Americans and Chinese and Europeans. So it's a good place to be with electronics at the moment. Yeah.
Especially with the high added value stuff. Yes, indeed. Mark, thank you.
No worries.
Cheers.
Thank you.